Are you from the South? Have you been looking for a podcast about our way of life, our culture, our food, our hospitality, and our food? Well, you found it. This is Flavor Down South, one of the most unique podcasts on the web, one that'll influence, entertain, educate, and cover the hospitality industry and the culture. We'll talk about Southern history and news. And if I could interrupt, we will be talking about the food, right? We'll have on culinary pros and hospitality underdogs, along with industry pioneers. Let's do it, baby. This is Flavor Down South. Now your host, Rudy the Foodie.
Yes, indeed. This is Rudy the Foodie, back with another episode of Flavor Down South. And today, we got a special episode again. We're talking to a savvy business leader in the community. We want to, of course, always and foremost, talk about the reason why we do this. And Flavor Down South is a powerful and unique podcast that influences, entertains, educates, conveys hospitality industry culture and news that connects and unite people down south. And as I always say, the goal is to just expand and build relationships down south. We have so many top talents and strengths in our communities. We need to make sure that we're capturing and documenting those talents. But if you are someone who enjoys food, if you are someone who enjoys learning about savvy business leaders and owners, you've landed on the right podcast. And so to get us started, our special announcement from our sponsor, Dave & Buster's out of Houston, Texas, located at 7620 Katy Freeway. If you live in Houston and you're looking for a late night happy hour, they got you covered. You can stop by Sunday through Thursday, 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. for half-price cocktails, $1 off draft beer and glasses of wine. And to make that even sweeter, you can use our special code DNB Houston FDS to enjoy 10% off appetizers and desserts. So that's those wings you like, that chocolate cake that they have over there. You can get 10% off using our special code DNB Houston FDS. So head over to Dave & Buster's where you can eat, drink, play, and watch sports. The address, again, is 7620 Katy Freeway. So without further ado, we're going to get started. The title of this episode is Savvy Business Leaders. We got a hidden community gem here with us today. This guy serves as the food and beverage director for the French Quarter Fest, the renowned French Quarter Fest. He is the food and beverage director. He and his wife also co-founders of Abstract NOLA, which is a collective that's committed to creating platforms for artists of all mediums. Let us welcome Mr. Kenneth Spears to the Flavor Down South podcast. Welcome, Kenneth.
Well, thanks for having me, Rudy.
How you doing today, man?
I'm doing great.
So look, we're gonna get right in it. We're in New Orleans, everyone. We're shooting live right now, and Kenneth is getting ready for the French Quarter Fest, which they are celebrating their 40th anniversary.
That's right.
And Kenneth is the food and beverage director. He's the first Black food and beverage director for the French Quarter Fest. And I want to be very, very boisterous and forthcoming is that's very exciting news because we need to showcase our talents beyond just the kitchen and creating recipes in the hospitality, in the food and beverage industry. So, Kenneth, how you doing for real, man? What is going on? You guys are 6 days away.
Yeah.
What's happening?
I mean, honestly, I'm holding up well. Mentally, I'm strong. Physically, I'm a little tired. We are 6 days away. For most of y'all who don't know, we really started building French Quarter Fest 2 weeks out. We started our load-in this past Monday, so it's been an interesting week. But yeah, man, full systems ahead. Folks, everybody's on site. We're feeling good. So Monday morning, we'll hit it again, and we'll see everybody on Thursday.
Yeah, man. And listen, we had a chance to chat a few weeks back. Kenneth was on another episode that's going to come out later, but I wanted you guys to know a little bit more about Kenneth. We know what his work is. A lot of people know him from Abstract NOLA, where he and his wife curate very, very, very intentional events that stimulate our community. But we need to know about the family, man. So tell us about your family, Kenneth, and where you're from, what school you went to. You know, that's a big deal in New Orleans, but let the folks know a little bit about who you are.
Yeah, man. I'm a kid from uptown New Orleans. You know, I grew up right there in the 11th Ward Garden District. Some people, you know, depending on, you know, how long you've been in the city, what you call it. I graduated from McMain after the storm.
Okay.
Hurricane Katrina was my senior year, but before that, I went to Madden Science and Fauché.
Oh.
So I got 2 diplomas. I don't know, you know, people that graduated in 06, Fauché gave me a diploma and McMain gave me a diploma. I wound up going to Dillard University, graduating.
Which one the best?
You know, they equally contributed to my life.
That's what I'm talking about.
And I feel like those schools were, you know, it's a part of the old New Orleans. It's part of pre-Katrina New Orleans. Like, everything is different. You know what I mean? So, like, to me, all of those schools, and the schools I didn't go to, like the Kennedys, like the old school 3-5s, they all have equal value to me. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just a different time. But yeah, man, I you know, obviously I'm married to Tara, my lovely wife. I love her to death. You know, without her, I feel like a lot of these things I wouldn't be able to accomplish. We've been together since college. We got a 4-year-old named Katy. That's our world. You know what I mean? So, yeah, bro. I mean, that's what I enjoy the most.
Yeah, man.
Spending time with them.
So another black dope dad that we're interviewing. And so, what something people may not know about Kenneth though? So, went to college with Dillard University. What is something people may not know, a hidden talent that you might have beyond just curating and producing events?
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't know. So I got a degree in music.
Oh, wow.
Music and business management, play percussion, you know what I'm saying? So I could play drums, a little piano. I've been producing beats for a long time.
Oh, nice.
And so yeah, that's like my hobby, you know, my musical stuff.
All right. So producing beats, the piano, you know, I downloaded an app for the piano, man. I'm thinking about just trying to just keep busy and do something else. Do you think the piano or the guitar? Which one would you? Because I got both. I got a piano right there that my dad left before he passed, and I also have a guitar that I've never.
I would say a percussion instrument because piano is percussion.
Okay.
It's easier to learn versus like the strings. You got different notes on the strings that you know. I don't know how to play guitar.
All right.
So in my personal experience, piano.
Like, yeah. There you go.
Easier.
Shit, look. I mean, look.
Super easy.
Yeah. So, how did you? You know, I understand. You know, you got a family. Obviously, you got a young son, right? How do you find a balance with? How do you strike a balance as an entrepreneur and having a full-time job? Because it's 2 different responsibilities, along with being a husband and a father, right? So how do you strike a balance?
That's a great question, man. I think that's a balance I'm still trying to figure out, honestly. You know, obviously the festival have different seasons. A lot of people don't know, well, you know, French Quarter Fest is literally a full year job.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? It's not just seasonal. I just don't show up in April and do the fest and I leave and go back home and come up next year.
That's important to know.
It's the whole year. We produce 2 festivals and we got a holiday campaign that we work on with this New Orleans and Company.
Okay.
And so, and then obviously Abstract. So, you know, in terms of the balance, it's a thin line between, you know, and Tara and I. We have to figure out when we having conversations about business versus when we having conversations about family.
Right.
But it's something that we still trying to figure out.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Yeah, but that's good. You're figuring it out. You know, it's good to just have, just to communicate.
Yeah.
You know, put things on the table. But obviously, you have an understanding wife that allows you to do what you do, right? Yeah. And that's important as well. So shout out to your wife, man.
Shout out to her. I mean, she understands because not only is she a very understanding person, and a beautiful soul, but she also works in the industry and she's a part of it, so she understands.
So she gets it.
Yeah, it's like a divide and conquer we got going on. We chip in and help each other out as much as we can.
Right. And that's important. All right. Well, look, how did you get, you know, in your current line of work? You know, how did it all? You say in college you got a music degree, And so how did this come about though? Because this is
French Quarter Fest?
no, just hospitality, food and beverage, just that whole that whole event, curation and stuff. So how did that all come about? Where'd you get your start?
It's interesting because I just think that, being in New Orleans, the dominating industry here is hospitality.
Sure it is.
Right?
Yeah.
And so if you're a young dude and you want to get a job, and a lot of times your job options are in the hospitality industry.
Yeah.
So, I worked for a catering company for a while. I got an opportunity to start working for Audubon Nature Institute a long time ago in high school. Went through, I was in the education department. I got to work with a bunch of kids, and it was a summer job.
Yeah.
And, literally I worked a summer job a couple years, and I got introduced to the catering department over at Audubon. And at the same time, I was working for a adjacent catering company. I think they were called New Orleans Catering. I can't remember, but my aunt put me in touch with them. So that was my introduction to like making some money, doing whatever catering, loading the truck, putting the black and white on, carrying the trays, the whole nine.
Yeah.
And then coincidentally at the same time, I got an internship at Essence.
Nice.
And
what year was that?
What year was that? I don't know. That had to be like 2012 or something.
Okay.
It was long time ago.
Yeah.
Got the internship with Essence. That's my first introduction to working festivals. Kept going back year after year. The production company was Ray Hodge at the time.
Yeah,
so
I remember Ray Hodge. Yeah.
Did Voodoo Fest.
Right.
Right. I just started going. Working in the festival networking at the same time. I had a catering job.
Okay. Okay. I remember at Audubon, I worked with a guy who previously, before he went to Audubon, Richard Bugsbaum. Mm-hmm. You remember Richard?
I do. Richard was the vice president at the time.
At the time, huh? Yeah. Richard and I were. I mean, he worked. He and my father, came up in the ranks together. But I remember him in my days at the Sheraton Hotel, in my young food and beverage days. But I learned a lot from Richard. He was always professional.
Definitely.
Dressed real nice, and from that moment, I understood what the mission was.
Definitely.
You're in hospitality.
Yeah.
And so you're always on stage.
Yeah, and he was one of the leading professionals in the industry. Audubon was known for their service.
Sure.
And that was like it was a direct product of Richard Bugsbaum. And I think that taught me a lot, just the training, the systems that he put in place, and the stuff that I learned working there. It prepared me for, where I am now.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So look, what right now, we talking about the current state of the hospitality industry. Obviously, it's changed a lot. I read a report that Teamsters finally got a union for hospitality workers. There's 1,000 people that signed up.
Wow.
And I haven't dug deep into it yet, but I know for many, many years, the hospitality industry has been able to avoid a union. So obviously something has moved people to go in that direction. Do you have any information about that, or have you heard about that, or what do you think just the current state of just hospitality industry, finding workers, just people's attitude towards wanting to be in an industry? Because it has changed a lot.
It did. I don't know too much about the union, so I won't speak on that. But in terms of like the staffing levels, it's changed since 2020, since the pandemic. A lot of restaurants, not only were they having struggles staying open, they was having struggles like keeping staff.
Yeah.
Like a lot of restaurants has now had the opportunity to bounce back and have the demand to bounce back, but they don't have the supply in terms of the staff.
Yep.
We saw that as an actual. We saw it at firsthand at festivals. Some of our longtime vendors couldn't participate because they just didn't have the capacity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's interesting because all of those gig workers who did festivals for 2 years, all of those restaurant workers who work in the hospitality industry, they didn't come back.
Right.
So I'm interested to know, where they at. And
well, a lot of them went to Amazon, man. A lot of them went to FedEx. A lot of them went to working from home, starting their own businesses. And I will tell you, if you're a restaurant owner, business owner, treat your people good. If you have somebody that's really good, that does the right thing, that takes care of your customers, you need to make sure you're taking care of them, because right now in this culture, man, people are just changing and people are not worrying about longevity anymore. So how do you guys go about staffing something as large as the French Quarter Fest?
Yeah, man, it's one of those things. So, prior to the pandemic, New Orleans had a thriving festival network, right? A lot of gig workers, we were able to share gig workers with Jazz Fest, French Quarter Fest. You know, we had a stable community of that. Our first year producing last year, it was a little tough trying to find folks to you know, participate in the fest. So we got a lot of programs, one with Loyola, a couple colleges, and we're trying to, you know, create the next workforce for festivals.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, for us, it's coming along. You know, we hire about 18 to 2,000 people, personnel, seasonal for the festival. And this year's looking good. We got a lot of volunteers, a lot of folks signed up, a lot of people from 2019 is coming back.
Nice.
I just think the environment is back. You know,
Yeah.
People are not too concerned about COVID, and people are coming back out.
Yeah, and it got to be, you know, it got to be a real just that process alone of finding enough people, because you guys have such a big landscape of areas that you are entertaining and giving people a good experience. What does something like that take? Do you is there you want to tell a young entrepreneur, if someone looking for something part-time, or you guys still looking for people, or how do they go about finding a job with the French Quarter Fest if they're just looking for something casual?
Oh yeah, that's easy. So right now the staff is sold up. We're ready to go.
Yeah, ready to go.
Fest a week away. We got everything pretty much buttoned up. But if you want to join the team in the future, all you have to do is go to fqfi.org.
Nice.
And there's a tab say join the team, and you can fill out to be a part of the team. I know. I would say normally in about November, December, we'll start posting jobs. And, you know, we'll start interviewing right away. So if you're interested, go to fqf.org.
Nice.
fqfi.org. fqfi.org. Yeah.
So if you're looking for something in the future, or if you're looking for something just to, you know, connect with others, volunteer, go to that website Kenneth just dropped. Look, we're going to go to a quick break. We're going to be right back with Kenneth. We're going to talk some more about the French Quarter Fest and its 40th anniversary, some of the things that they have special going on. But more importantly, we're going to also hear a little bit about Abstract NOLA and the event that they had just passed, and let Kenneth fill us in on what happened. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Flavor Down South. If it's Southern culture, we're talking about it. Now, back to your host, Rudy the Foodie.
Welcome back to Flavor Down South. This is your guy, Rudy the Foodie. We're back with Mr. Kenneth Spears, and we're talking about savvy business leaders in this community, and he is definitely one of them. He has enlightened us a little bit about himself, but now we're going to talk a little bit more directly about his work with Abstract NOLA, and also we're going to get into a little bit more about the celebration of the 40th anniversary of French Quarter Fest. But first, again, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Dave & Buster's out of Houston, Texas. They are located at 7620 Katy Freeway. And if you're looking for a late night happy hour, if you're looking for an option, whether you want to watch sports, whether you want to play some games, shoot some pool, bowling, Dave & Buster's in Houston, located at 7620 Katy Freeway, is your option. Half-price cocktails and $1 off draft beers and glasses of wine Sunday through Thursday from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. If you're looking to eat, you want some wings, you want a piece of cake, you know, they got all kind of little drinks and stuff, but you could also take 10% off of appetizers and desserts by using code DNB Houston FDS. So, again, if you're looking for a place, an option for a happy hour, Dave & Buster's is your spot. So now, Kenneth, welcome back, everyone. We're here with Kenneth Spears. He is the first black, and I'm going to keep saying that because it's important, but he is the first black food and beverage director for the French Quarter Fest. They're in their 40th year, 40th anniversary. And listen, the French Quarter Fest typically is held in April, and it makes its return April 13th through the 16th. And it's touted as one of the largest festivals in North America. So That means that there are thousands of attendees near and far, thousands that come for this free festival alone down in the historic French Quarter, in which we all know it's a massive celebration. It highlights food, music, art, culture in this beloved city of New Orleans, Louisiana. Kenneth, man, tell us 40th year. What y'all got planned, man? What's I know? Don't give away this, the hot stuff, but give us something. What can people look forward to?
Yeah, man. Well, listen, in the ever-changing world of social media, we have a 40th anniversary hub. This year will be located right in the amphitheater of Jackson Square, right across the street. So we'll have some really cool selfie things. Big old 40 over there, which you can take pictures of.
Oh,
we have
nice.
A little photo booth sponsored by one of our great partners, Creole Cuisine.
Okay.
So yeah, man, I think, and we got a huge surprise Thursday night after the show. So everybody stick around. It's gonna be
huge
great.
Surprise Thursday night,
opening night. So if you're local and you don't normally come to French Quarter Fest on Thursday,
I would say bring your gin. It might be something like that. So just bring a little gin just in case.
Yeah, well, listen, we got gin on the menu this year.
There you go.
We added forged gin to the.
There you go.
To the beverage lineup, so you don't have to bring it. It's already there, and honestly, you ain't gonna be able to bring it.
There you go.
But yeah, man, I think it's gonna be great. We're excited. Last year we had 825,000 people visit the quarters over 4 days, and at the very least, we are expecting that amount. In my mind, I'm gonna put it out there. I think we're gonna see 1 million people.
Wow.
But that's just me, my personal opinion.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to next week.
All right. So again, order your gin. Can't bring it in,
Order
but
your
you
gin.
can order
That's
it.
what
They
we
got
got.
it on the menu now, but I think you're gonna need it for Thursday night.
It's a free
just saying.
festival. If you want to continue to support the festival and we keep it free, come out and buy some drinks.
There you go. So look, tell us exactly about your position. Though, what are you responsible for?
Sure.
Many areas that you have to cover.
Yeah.
How many vendors this year?
Yeah, we got I think we got about 63 total food vendors.
63 total food vendors. What exactly is your position responsible for, so people can know what the food and beverage director of the fest do?
Sure. Food and beverage director is responsible for all-site food and beverage operations.
Yep.
In terms of the food vendors, I personally contract each food vendor that you see on site, and we walk them through the process of the operations to make sure they're ready to go for day one. I also manage all of the beverage locations. You'll see every beer booth or drink booth that's managed by FQFI. I operate that booth. And when I mean operate, I manage the operation.
Right.
We hire a concessionaires team. They go out and get the bartenders. We order the product. We put up the signage. All that goes through me.
Okay.
And then this year, interesting enough, I also manage our VIP program, Fest Family.
VIP. Flavor Down South is VIP?
Oh yeah, they VIP. Flavor Down South VIP.
All right. That's a lot, man. That's a lot. Because how many areas? We got Jackson Square, we got the riverfront.
Yeah, we got 4 to 5 major sites. So the festival is from Canal Street to Esplanade.
I don't think people understand. If I'm someone who's never been here,
20 stages.
if I'm someone who's never been to the fest, I'm talking massive. I'm talking people everywhere, and everyone is enjoying themselves. It's a little something for everyone. There's music for everyone. There's food for everyone. There's arts and crafts. There's artists. There's just meeting new people. I mean, it's unbelievable what the French Quarter Fest has been able to do for 40 years. Starting with what? I think 1,000 people at one time.
Yeah.
Just in Jackson Square.
Yep, 1984.
1984. So they're on their 40th year, and they continue to do amazing things. And we're just happy to have you here to be able to share some of those things with us.
Yeah, I'm honored for that you have me. So I appreciate it.
Good. So we're gonna segue a little bit because we want to make sure that we cover the extent of Kenneth's experience and share a little bit about some of the other things that he has going on with the type of works he do, curating events. Let's talk a little bit about Abstract NOLA, man, and what that means to you. That's your entrepreneur side that you work on with your wife, right? How many years y'all doing that now?
Since 2016, so it's approaching 7 years.
All right, yeah. And Kenneth and I, ironically enough, met through another client of mine, Dawn Richard, at the time.
Shout out, Dawn.
Yeah, shout out to Dawn. She was doing a pop-up vegan event, and we needed some help just getting people to the event. And obviously, I'm an operations guy, and I'm about helping develop food and beverage recipes. But more importantly, she needed somebody to help her execute. And so we reached out to Abstract NOLA, and you guys came through for us. So so that was great. That was my first experience working with you guys, and I've been watching ever since.
Yeah, that was a great event. You know, I remember it like yesterday. That Co out there painting.
Yeah,
the papates, it was good.
The food was good. Yep.
Yeah, man, I appreciate y'all reaching out for us to help carry, bring that vision to life. But yeah, Abstract NOLA, and Tyra and I started that. So we got married in 2015. A lot of people don't know this. And we had a small wedding. I think for like 150 people.
Okay.
We got married right on Esplanade at the Kingsway Mansion, and we had an issue of like who we can bring to the wedding. Like the list was just too long.
I'm having that issue right now.
Well,
I'm having that exact issue right now.
Well, here's what the solve we came up with is like, all right, we're gonna do an after party.
Oh wow. Okay.
And we did an after party. And we had a bar minimum at the after party. And I was like, damn, I'm stressing. I want to make sure we hit this bar minimum. It was nothing. It was like $1,000.
Yeah, but that's still something.
I'm like, shit. We, the wedding costing all this money.
Right.
We got an after party.
Right.
Everybody's coming. Oh, congratulations, Johnny. I was like, look, just go buy some drinks. Right. Just go buy some drinks.
We don't need no gift. Buy some drinks.
And ironically, we hit the numbers, right? Mm-hmm. And a bunch of people showed up. And, we were thinking, growing up in New Orleans, your club experience was to go to the club, stand in line, for a long time, pay $50 to get in.
Right.
And then listen to the club music and buy more money at the bar, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? No shade to the club experience because I've had many great nights in the club. But we wanted something just a little bit different.
Yeah.
And so that's what we came up with Abstract NOLA. I had a real passion for the artists of New Orleans. The music artist might be me being artist of artists in the past, and having my background in music, I wanted to provide a platform for artists to kind of create a local support here in New Orleans.
Right.
She shared the same vision when it comes to visual artists and chefs and stuff like that. And so, yeah, man, literally it came out of that wedding after party, and we put together a concept and ran with it, and now it's grown to what it is now.
Yeah, and look. My first experience with you, man, and I tell I always like to give people their flowers, with a witness, right? My first experience about you and your wife was not only pleasant, you guys were very professional, you were very on hands, okay, how can we help, what do you need? And I think that in hospitality, it's more than just a hand-to-hand cash transaction.
Thanks.
It's about building relationships. Tell us how because you guys are coming off a major event that you did just 2 weeks ago. Was it 2 weeks or 3 weeks or what?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
And listen,
3 weeks.
you had a lot of not only a lot of major players in the house, but a lot of cars and vendors that supported you. How have you guys been able to build and maintain relationships with all the different elements that we have to deal with? Hurricane season, stoppage, COVID, but you still maintain those relationships. How you guys have been able to do that and just keep relationships going?
Yeah, man. I think the first and foremost, being from New Orleans and putting on local events, we're working with our peers. That's the first thing. So a lot of these people we have relationships with before Abstract and before this point. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think also too, people trust us to really do our best and put our best foot forward to provide a decent platform so they can show their work. I think that's another thing. And in terms of the event, March 18th, shout out to my dog Terrence King with High Class TV.
Nice.
Because without him, we wouldn't have been able to do it. But me and him, along with my dude Reggie, we got together a while back. I was saying November, and they shot me this concept.
Yeah.
And I took it. I sat on it, and I did some research, and I went to go find a venue that I think that would accommodate
It's always
this.
important to do your research.
Yep.
Good point. Because we did a lot of research with this. It's always important. It's always important.
You got to. But long story short, we came together on it, and to be real with y'all, it took us about 3 weeks to put it together.
Nice.
It wasn't long.
That's when you got systems in place already, though.
It wasn't hard at all.
When you got systems in place, you plug and play.
Yeah, man. And so we had 14 cars inside the CAC, old school, classic cars, convertible Porsches, all kinds of stuff.
I saw it.
We had a great music lineup. Shout out to my dude Chasing Cash. He did a live B set. He hosted it for us.
Nice.
Chasing Cash is one of the first, artists from New Orleans to reach a certain level. You know what I mean? And so what I most took pride in is that we had 1,500 people show up, maybe a little more, because that's they started counting late. So at least 1,500 plus. No major artist that's not from New Orleans.
Wow.
And we did that.
Wow.
And everybody
that's relationships.
came in and appreciated it.
Yeah, but that's relationships. That means that you guys have an amazing call to action. That's what I lead that to, because there's so much competition in New Orleans in terms of entertainment. And what I mean by that is obviously we got a huge dinner scene, we got a huge food scene, but there's always something going on at all these other venues. And to continue to, give people an overall experience, not just one phase of an event, but you're giving people an experience. I think that's amazing. So shout out to y'all.
Thank you, man. Well, look, I just want to say this. I think that me and in turn, I know I can speak for it when I say this, we appreciate and we love New Orleans culture.
Yeah.
And we from here.
Yep.
And so we really feel obligated to make sure we do it right.
Yeah, man.
And I think just because of the love and dedication, and I hope people see that, and I think that's what they respond to the most.
Yeah, and look, I share that same sentiment, because that's how I feel about this project that we're going. This is a movement, man. We're trying to, document, underdogs in the community, in 10 states. It's a list of states. It's all your down south states: South Carolina, North Carolina, Louisiana, obviously, Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, Florida. We're just going down all those states, and we're trying to tell stories about folks who you may not know about. Mom and pops are the heartbeat of this community when it comes to food.
Big facts.
And so a lot, I want to say, I'm not big on percentages, because I'm out of that game of just keeping up with that. But I want to say it's over 80% of the restaurants are all mom and pops, right? And so in New Orleans, I'm saying. And so if I just expand outside of just New Orleans, Louisiana, just Lafayette, New Iberia, all of these, Youngsville, all of these, we want to be able to just like what you guys are doing. We want to be able to curate conversations, obviously, that can put butts in seats, though. Right, so that people could strive and thrive in the restaurant business, and not keep trying to figure out how to keep it going.
Yeah, man.
And so the idea of creating a relationship that can keep people coming back, and I think that's the most important part that I see that you guys have done, is not only you get them out, but they keep coming back. And so how do you guys keep them coming back beyond just giving them a good event? What else are you doing? What are some of your other signature things that you have? Your magic wine. Is there a magic wine to this, or what? How do you get it done?
We can't give all the secrets away, but I'm gonna say this. I think that what's amazing about New Orleans and our culture is that everybody has some ties to it, right? Whether you're Black, Mexican, Indian,
yep,
or your mom and dad's a restaurant, we create income and opportunities of sheer talent and stuff that we're born with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so the sheer fact that two Black people, a couple from New Orleans, a very accessible couple from New Orleans, can provide a large platform to anybody who wants to be on it is, I think, very inspiring and empowering and motivating.
That is.
You know what I'm saying?
That is.
So if you 2 years ago you was making jewelry in your house and you was like, man, I don't know if I want to put it out, or I was painting a painting, now there's a brand that will allow you to come and showcase your work.
Yeah, that's important, man.
And I've seen people who didn't, who was in that phase of like, I want to start something, has started something with us and has grown to huge heights. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think that alone, because the opportunity for them is there, and not just because there's an opportunity for them, but we all are celebrating each other
Absolutely.
all the time.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And the strength and talents in our community is
It's outrageous.
it's outrageous, and we need to create our own space for
It's
these
the
things.
reason why we have so many tourists here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's no shade to anybody else, but the culture of New Orleans is the reason why New Orleans is the way it is.
It
right?
is. Yep.
And one of our main goals is to make sure that we benefit from it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Outside of just, a weekend where we have a bunch of people in town.
Right.
And the industry is setting up here.
Right.
We did our event on March 18th. Nothing else is happening. It's right after St. Patrick's Day, but it's not a huge time where we got a lot of, out-of-towners.
Yeah.
And New Orleans deserve that. We deserve to pop up and have a special event that's not tied to a holiday or something else.
That's great, man.
So
That's great. All intentional, and I love it. Listen, man, again, shout out to you guys. Shout out to you and your wife, what you guys are doing. I wish you nothing but the success. Flavor Down South, just in general, our company in general, will forever be huge supporters. And if there's anything we could ever do moving forward to, extend our podcast to you guys, or maybe get into some of the documentation of what you're doing when it comes to food, because that's our niche.
we love that.
But please don't hesitate. So we're gonna close it out, man. Is there anything else about the French Quarter Fest that we didn't cover that you maybe just want to just give people a little? Because remember, people may not hear this podcast until next year.
Yeah.
And so, is there anything else that we didn't cover that people could look forward to?
I feel like we covered most of it, but if you want a real taste of authentic New Orleans, we have, we employed over 18, or I think it's 1,500 local musicians.
Nice.
Over the 4 days. I
Nice.
I spoke about, 60 plus food vendors.
Right. Shout out to Addis NOLA, man. Addis NOLA hit me up. Prince is going to come on the show. He's really excited this year. You moved him from the Mint to the Riverfront, so he's
my guy.
Yeah, they're very excited about that. So
Yeah, he's gonna do great this year.
Yeah,
I think, last year, we got him in, and he deserved the spot.
Yeah, that's great, man.
Nobody got him in. He deserved the spot. He went through the process. He checked all the boxes, and
Nice.
I think he did great. And I also think now he's ready for the next step in the festival. So yeah, you can catch Prince and a bunch of other vendors on the Canal Plaza.
Yeah.
Right on the riverfront. That's where our
Nice.
Jack Daniels stage is.
Okay.
We have some really great acts on Jack Daniels this year, including Flag Boy Giz.
Nice.
Including a group called Gumbo Juice.
Okay.
Which will be have a feature set from Fresh and Reckless.
Okay. All right.
Tank is closing out. We got Frida on Friday night. It's gonna be nice, man.
Yeah.
Listen,
Sounds amazing.
This is the year to come out and support your local food vendors, your
Yeah.
local friends and family, local musicians, and have a good time about, celebrate New Orleans.
Yeah, man. Look, thanks for listening to the Flavor Down South podcast. Of course, I thank God for this wonderful opportunity to connect and bring people together. Again, we want to thank our sponsors, our sponsor, Dave & Buster's. We're almost there. We're almost there with the sponsors. We're not there yet, but we're going to get there. But shout out to Dave & Buster's in Houston, Texas, man. They have been really gracious to us. We're going to do a podcast soon from there. But for right now, we definitely do have, they have a nice happy hour that they're trying to promote. It's Sunday through Thursday, 9 to 11 p.m. They have half price on cocktails, $1 draft beers, and wine, right? And they also have a special code for Flavor Down South, which is DNB Houston FDS, DNB Houston FDS, and you can enjoy 10% off for appetizers and desserts. So if you like the wings, if you like the pizza, all of those different things that Dave & Buster's have, you want to go out with the kids and enjoy a happy hour and let the kids play, you can do that as well. Whatever floats your boat. But Dave & Buster's in Houston, Texas, shout out to them and all what they do for us. Special thanks to our producer for today, Cy Eugene. Great work, man. I appreciate everything that you do and everything that you mean to Flavor Down South. We hope that you've enjoyed this episode and you'll join us for future episodes. We'll continue to share untold stories of culinary, hospitality industry leaders and just movers and shakers. Remember to subscribe to our podcast, to leave us a review, or if you want to hear or enjoy it, you can check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube as well. We thank you for your support, and we look forward to sharing more stories. Until next time, I am Rudy the Foodie, and I'm out. Peace.
You've been listening to Flavor Down South. Rudy's been in the hospitality industry for over 25 years, and his passion is anything Southern that connects our people. We hope you've enjoyed the show. Make sure to like, rate, and review, and share it with a friend. Pass it around, and find us on social media. See you next time on Flavor Down South.